Hi everybody, it's James Elson here from Centurion Running with your 2021 One Slam virtual event race briefing. I don't think we did race briefings for all the virtual events last year, but I felt this one was important because particularly around the submission of results, it's a little more complicated than last time. There are things definitely to bear in mind as we go into the race. So I'll try and keep it reasonably brief and just get you the key info. Essentially, I'll be reiterating a lot of what you've received in the mail out. This Saturday, today's Saturday, just before the event starts on Monday. I'm in danger of calling it a race, but it really isn't. This is really about a challenge for each individual to go out and pursue a really consistent block of training, basically through February and March. It's something to give us all that bit of motivation to get out the door when it's crappy weather and not particularly motivating at the moment. I certainly feel that anyway. The format is you against your challenge. There's no prize for getting to your total first and being the first across the line of your slam. It's all about consistency. In many ways, the people that maintain consistent training week to week all the way through the 2-month period will be the ones who have probably had the most successful event. Coming to the options, if you're in the 400 and you want to downgrade, or the 600 and you want to downgrade, or similarly if you've entered one of the distances and want to upgrade because things have gone really well, those options are open to you. So chase a target, sure, set yourself a challenge, but know that if things aren't working out or they're working out particularly well, you can up or downgrade at any time. The only caveat to that is the 100-mile distance, which is only open to junior runners. Okay, so under 18s only. We've already raised about £2,000 for charity out of the entries for this event. We raised, between £15,000 and £20,000 last year out of the virtual events alone for both Mind and NHS charities together, and this is just furthering that. It is fantastic. The positivity that we all get out of it, coupled with the charitable donations, just mean a huge amount. Loads of you, over a third of you, selected Trees Not Teas for this event as well, so we'll be making quite a substantial donation to Trees Not Teas, and there'll be a load of planting going on as a result of the event. Those of you that chose Trees Not Teas will be issued certificates in due course. So I just want to come to the submission of results and how the leaderboard works and what have you, because that's really the crucial part of this. When you entered the event, you would have got an email sent through confirming your entry, and in that email is a unique link to submit your results. You can find that, if you can't find that email, by going to racedirector.co.uk and clicking on edit your One Slam entry. Once you go into edit your One Slam entry, there's a link at the top of the page, and that is also your unique link. So to submit your results, you need to have that unique code or click on that link. If you just go to the submit results page on the website, you'll be asked for that unique code. That's what that is. The reason for that is that unlike One Community and One Up, where you just entered one total at the end of it, most of you will be submitting results as you go, possibly submitting every time you run. So you've each essentially got your own unique runner page. That page will then add up all of the submissions to give you the cumulative totals that you'll see on the leaderboard. So, for example, if I run 10 miles on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, each evening I go in and add my distance and time via my unique link. At the bottom of that page, it will show me those 3 runs, and then on the leaderboard, it will show me 30 miles on the cumulative run time. So the system will calculate the totals for me. It will then move the dot of you, the runner, down the virtual map of the event course. Okay, so you'll appear on the leaderboard and you'll see your dot moving down the route of the slam that you've entered. The courses appear in the order that the races would traditionally appear in a normal calendar year. So, for example, if you've entered a 200-mile slam, you'll see your virtual map is the 4 50-mile races in calendar order, all linked together, and your dot will gradually move down the courses. So the idea of that is to just give you that extra bit of motivation So you might be pretty close to finishing the end of the North Downs-way 50 on a given day, and it might just give you that bit of motivation to get out and push a little further. Similarly, you'll be able to see how everyone else is doing around you, and I'm sure there'll be some great camaraderie going on as a result of that. It's new for us. It's a system that Chris Mills, who manages the web and timing stuff for us, has built. So we're really hoping it's something that works great, is interactive, and we can use again. If you've got any questions about submission and results, just email us at info@centurionrunning.com. We're expecting quite a few emails on this because it is a different system, so don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't want to go in and submit every day, that's completely fine. You can simply lump your runs together and then enter them at the end of the week, at the end of the 2 weeks, the end of the month, or the end of the whole thing if you can't be bothered to enter at all as you go through the whole process. There's two things you need to have. That is the total miles you've run, not kilometres, miles. So make sure you use a calculator or whatever to turn your Ks to miles if you use a K function on Strava. And you need your total elapsed running time. So for example, if my 10-mile run on the Monday took me 2 hours, but I was actually moving for an hour and 45 minutes and 15 minutes, I was using the loo, buying a bottle of water, whatever else, that would mean that my elapsed time for session isn't 1 hour 45, it's the 2 hours. So I would be entering at the end of that day 10 miles, 2 hours, not 10 miles, 1 hour 45. So we're adding together the elapsed time of each session. So if I did 10 miles in 2 hours every day for the first 5 days, my cumulative time to that point would either be worked out by the system or I would be entering 50 miles, 10 hours. Okay? I hope that makes sense. That's different to one community in that in one community it was the time of your first footstep on your first run to the time of your last footstep on the last run. So it was a total elapsed time, including stuff like when you were sleeping or resting. This doesn't do that. It's just the elapsed time of your run sessions. Now you can run, you can walk, you can combine both together. No pressure on us. Try and make sure it's concerted effort to add to your total. Okay, it shouldn't just be having your phone in your pocket and adding your step count as a total at the end of the day. You can do what you want. It's a totally honour-based system. As I've already said, it's not a race. You're not competing against anybody else. It's your challenge, so you do it as you see fit, but we're encouraging you to actually only count sessions where you've gone out to proactively add to your total. It'd be remiss of me not to mention government guidelines at this point. In the UK, we're in a situation where we're being asked by government to exercise once per day. Now, however we may feel about that, it's really important we stick to the guidelines. It's no place of ours as an event to encourage people to break those guidelines, especially when the crisis is at the current level. But we recognise there are runners around the world doing this. We recognise runners have treadmills at home. Some of you have got massive back gardens. Congratulations. You can maybe get some mileage in around your back garden as well. You have to make the best decisions for yourselves. We're not going to police it. You guys, we're trusting to make the right decisions, but you must stick to the government guidelines of the area you're in. The other thing to be cognizant of is that those guidelines are highly likely to change within the 2 months that this event is going on. So be flexible, go with it. Don't worry too much. If I use myself as an example, in the early days, I'm only going to be able to train once a day, and it's going to be hard for me to get the volume in one go regularly to get, to stay on target. But I'm pretty relaxed about that in that there'll be opportunities to go a little longer. For example, I'll run longer on the One Love weekend. And in due course, I'm sure with a fair following wind, the exercise restrictions will be lifted here in the UK and we'll be able to exercise a little more regularly and you can get back to those double days and what have you. So I won't go on any more about that, but I hope you'll get the general picture. That's probably it for now. You've got bib numbers on the entrance page, which you can download and print if you want. If you share them, if you stick them on and you're going out running, share them with the community. Use the hashtag Centurion Community on Instagram and Twitter. We love to see that stuff. We'll be awarding spot prizes for best picture and what have you. If you've got juniors competing from your household, we absolutely love to see what they're up to. We've not got that many in this because it's a massive ask, even 100 miles. But we would love to see them getting out and about and doing their thing. Similarly, if you've got friends who might be interested in signing up, they can do so all the way up until the 31st of March and count any mileage back to the 1st of February that they like. So it's not too late to enter. And just to say on the awards, because you can up or downgrade distance right to the end of the event, we're not going to send any awards out until after the 31st of March. Okay, so even if you email us after 2 weeks and say, "I finished," we'll say, "Congratulations, you are going to have to wait for your awards." Because what we don't want is people changing their mind, which inevitably many will, and then awards going back and forth. And quite frankly, it's more admin than we can handle to do bit by bit by bit. We're just going to process them all at the end when the final results are in. So I hope that's okay with you guys. Once the medals arrive, which they will do substantially before the end of the event, we'll share some pictures and maybe that'll give you a little bit of impetus to get out. Stay tuned to the news page, the news tab on One Slam event on the website. I'll be updating that with news as we go along. I'm also going to try to record semi-regular podcasts through this whole thing, sharing motivation from other runners, perhaps brief interviews with other people taking part, my own thoughts and feelings about the event. The staff and coaches at Centurion are just as motivated to do this as you guys are. This is about positivity and having a focus during what continues to be a really rough time. So with that, wishing you all the very best of luck. Door is always open for questions. info@centurionrunning.com. Get on the Centurion community on Facebook and share your stories. It's a wonderful place to be at a time like this. Wishing you all the very best, and we'll see you somewhere down the line. Thank you, everybody.